Don't worry, a new season here. Get optimism going. Come on, I'm excited for it. Never mind, how about you go? Hey, look, we didn't just lose to Hull there. We just got beaten by Hull. They deserved the win. 2-0, a completely fair result. That was embarrassing from United, but genuinely not shocking. I watched that game against AC Milan. That was a complete continuation. Any sort of fears and concerns that you might have about this team, boom. They've just been completely validated, and well done. Oh, United got a nice easy start to the season with 2 newly promoted teams. Or how about you go and play like that? You know what that stunk of to me? I'm not looking at that team thinking, if you just add a Carlos Baleba in there, we'll be all right. That stunk of a team that went there and thinking, yeah, we're going to win this. That's right, yeah, we got enough. No, you don't. That game was won by Hull in the first half and completely lost by United in the first half. All right? We have, 70% possession, but Hull won like 65% of the duels. I can have a photo of Tielemans here, of Santos, of anybody in that team from that game. Nobody was reacting to anything. Second to every ball, whether it's from the 2 set pieces that they scored, whether it's from every single time the ball was in the corner, every single time they swung a ball in. Hull were dangerous. Far more threatening than we were. Our most threatening player in that game was a certain Harry Bloody Maguire. That was, it's as bad as it could have been, really. That was as bad as it could have been. We were shit. We completely deserved to lose. We had no threat, really, at any point in that game. What was the biggest threat that we had? Was it the chance in the first half that went through to Mbumo and then he's fired a shot into the keeper? Maybe Cunha, nothing. Mbumo last year, to be honest, nothing. Dorgu, completely invisible. You absolute whoppers, man. That's what I mean. I'm not shocked because I saw the same sort of problems against AC Milan, but I'm thinking that's all right. It's a preseason game. Largely, I thought we played okay in preseason, but we were just shit against Hull. We completely deserved to lose. Dorgu had an absolute stinker around that left-hand side, but so did really Mbumo, so did Bruno, so did Cunha. Completely invisible. Our biggest attacker was Maguire. And it took 45 minutes for us to need Rashford to come on to try and change the game. Rashford didn't change the game in that second half because we could not. Bombshell moment. Manchester United struggled against a low block. Brand new news. Said nobody. I was hoping that Santos and Tielemans coming into the team would give Manchester United more control. The game kind of played out how I thought it would. Hull sitting quite deep, with 5 at the back, hitting on the counter, going down the wings, using the width. Did it? That was what I expected to happen. But what I wanted to happen was for United to have a little bit more of an element of control. I suppose technically you had that because they had 70% possession. But it means sweet. If you do not win your duels, how boring and basic is this conversation, man? The physical deficiencies of this team, they're still there. Whether or not you've been working on them in pre-season, Carrick, I don't know. Not being privy to all the conversations, but I'm sure you have. But they were just exposed completely. Every single time there was a duel or a ball that was 50-50, Hull won it. No, Hull won the ball. Set piece, who's supposed to react? Hull the first to react. It's bad, ball's about to do it. Hull, every single time. And you cannot win a game of football in the Premier League with that approach, with that attitude. And on top of that, United conceding 2 from set pieces. As I said, Hull completely deserved that win today. I'll say congratulations to Hull. But for all of us United fans going into the season, we know about the concerns. We're not saying it's a perfectly blended, complete squad. We know that we need Believer to be added into this. But I repeat, I'm not looking at that performance there from that team and thinking, if you just drop Believer into it, that solves the problems. Sure, there might be a little bit more bite in the middle, and it would be United winning certain more duels, but whether it's Santos, whether it's, as I said, take your pick. Did anybody play well in that game? I'm probably going to pull out Maguire, and thought he played quite well. I thought Senny played quite well as well. I'm going to give my play ratings in a video after this. But, going into this season, I have my concerns. I have my optimisms as well. I thought there were elements, but that was a team that conceded, what was it, the most goals? I don't know how many goals they conceded in the Championship last season. What a ton of goals. They just cruised. Let's be honest here. Hull cruised that game. That's what I mean. It wasn't just, sometimes you can be annoyed when you come out of a game, when you played against a low block, and it feels like you've just been knocking on the door, battering, and nothing is happening. You're hitting the bar, you're doing everything. Oh my God, and it just doesn't work out. You're thinking, that's like a defensive performance from the gods. And they're only doing that once a season. Mate, Hull played in like 3rd gear, max. Defensively disciplined, good shape, blocking the shots, cutting the angles. And you know what pissed me off as well? How many balls did we have into the box? A lot. How many times did we threaten from those balls into the box? Very little. Shesko came on with half an hour to go. Kobe came on with half an hour to go. Rashford came on with 45 to go. How much actually changed? There was just no threat from United at all. Cunha through the middle, didn't work. And Boom out the right-hand side was probably our most threatening player, but didn't work. Dorgu out on that left. And I'm going to repeat it again. There's going to be games and moments this season where Dorgu can be an asset. Starting against a low block against Hull is not one of those situations. We got Ipswich next at Old Trafford. Sure, great. Let's see what goes on in that game. But well done, United, because you've managed to put up every sort of ghoul of last season, and you just lined them up. You didn't want to see this again, did you? Well, there you go. You didn't want to see this again, did you? Well, there you go. Every single thing that was wrong with last season was in that performance. Everything that I wanted to see brought into the team by the signings that we made was not there. That's pretty much as bad as it could have been, let's be honest. I'm embarrassed by it. I'm not shocked by it because I saw it against AC Milan. I saw it plenty of times last season, but I hoped that this team would have developed and improved. Instead, they've just stepped into a game, and I'll stand by this. They stepped into that game thinking that they've won that before they kicked the ball. That's what it came across as. That's why I can't say that if you just take this player out and you put that player in, it would have been completely different. I think that was a team-wide issue today. That was like an approach issue from everybody. And at the same time of that, when it came down to individual quality, whether that's Cunha, whether that's Bruno, or Tielemans, or Santos, who all had bad games, or Dorgu, but to a man, everybody had a bad game, really. Apart from, I'm saying, Maguire and Lemons. I don't think Shaw was bad because they were just bombing up and down the wings. Mate, that was crap. Well done, United. At least we can go into the new season with a little bit of optimism. We've got some new signings, thinking it's going to be a little bit different, but instead now we're starting the season on the back foot. We're now 3 points behind. We've got Ipswich next week. All of a sudden it's a must-win game going into the second game of the season. We create a 6-point gap after 2 games. Yeah, top job. That's top job.